Hi, everybody. Thank you for your patience as I developed the Friday folder for this week. There's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and now I'm ready to show you what that was. So, you've done the reading check, you've clicked here for the video. So, let's take a look at the one class task you have for today, your issue roundtable. We are continuing with the action project today. So, last week you filled out a Google form letting me and everybody else know what your specific issue or maybe issues, if you're still deciding between two, will be the focus of your action project and what exactly your SMART goal was for that issue. What exactly is it that you want to do about that issue? Well, you created a goal for that. First thing you want to do after you open up this pink folder, step 3, is open up those responses, okay? Because I have consolidated all of your responses into categories. Some of you already were using the name of the category. Some of you I had to do a little bit of modifications for the sake of clarity and cohesion. So if you're looking for yourself, also, if you want to open up more of your screen to look at the sheet, you can click this little arrow here and that little caret, and then it will reduce the size of the toolbar at the top. Okay, so let's say you're wondering, where did I go? Where did I end up in this list? Well, you could go Control F if you'd like, or you could scroll through, but I suggest going Control F and then typing in your name. So let's see where Cash is. Yes, Cash is here. He is in the deforestation and climate change group, so he's kind of a blend with both, but I put him more with deforestation. But if you could totally go with climate change. Some of you are kind of those in-betweeners as well, okay? You can find yourself by Control Fing. If you know who you are, if you know what issue you put down, you could go ahead and use these links and click there like that instead, or like that instead. Okay, that's what you want to do first. Find yourself in this list, okay? And then you can go to this next page, links to the issue roundtables. So there is a roundtable discussion for every single one of the issues. This did take a longer time than it did for the juniors because what's interesting about the sophomores is that there's a much more diverse array of issues, which means there needs to be more roundtables. Okay, so let's pretend I'm still Cash. Okay, where did Cash go? Oh, I know he's here. Boop, boop. Yep, there he is. Let's say I'm Cash. Okay, I'm Cash. My issue is deforestation. Maybe I'll check out climate change later, but for now I'm going to focus on deforestation. So let me click this link to go to Parley. Okay, this should look familiar to to what we were doing last week. I need to be a student. What we were doing last week, except this time there will be just fewer people in your roundtable discussion. It'll only be the people who are in your group, and I got it color coded. Okay. Yes, I'm a student. Yes, in this case, I'm a sophomore. Here we go. Okay, and got it. No. Click the link again. This won't happen to you. This won't happen to you. It's only because I had to do all that pretend to be a student stuff. Okay, then you'll end up at the prompt for today. Here's the context. Please read that. It's important. And then you will do this first, okay? And then you'll do this second. There's just two basic parts. Like last week, you're going to post something, and then you're going to respond to other people. You're going to answer this question in your initial post, and then you're going to respond to everybody with the same question. Last week, I gave you sentence stems and guiding questions for you to consider how to respond to somebody else. This time, everybody in your responses are answering the same question. Essentially, by the end of today, as you could tell, just looking at the language of this question, you are considering how do your goals align and what exactly can you altogether do to achieve these goals. Remember that the goal language is here. What is your SMART goal regarding this issue? You only have to read what everybody else wrote in their goals and issue section for the people in your group. You don't need to read all of this, okay? So if you are, for example, Anders, you only have to read what everybody else wrote for education reform. And after reading those, you'll respond to the prompt accordingly, and then respond to everybody else's answers accordingly. Afterwards, it just becomes a free discussion table for you to use. This first and second step is what I'm looking for at the minimum, but we will revisit this again in the future when we start thinking more deeply and with more commitment as to what exactly is the issue we're going to tackle, right? And who are we going to be collaborating with when planning and preparing our action projects? We're slowly moving towards that direction of committing to an issue and committing to groups. Okay? So that is all you are doing today. Make sure you're reading those directions carefully. They're relatively self-explanatory. I won't waste your time now reading them to you when you can read them for yourself. And that'll be it. Once you're done, you could click here, this link, and by clicking that link, that should trigger the completion standards, completion rules for today. This folder will lie. It will likely tell you that you still need to complete something, and it's wrong. You need to scroll up and instead click student progress, and that will give you a more accurate idea of what you've done for that day. Okay, and even if both of those are wrong, even if you know you made a submission to the reading check and you know you made your post in the Parley Roundtable, you are fine. You're totally fine. Okay, that's all for today. If you have any questions, I will see you during conferences or I'll get a remind text from you. But until then, have a great weekend.